My name is Lola and I am an epidemiologist. So just a little background, before I started in epidemiology, I finished my bachelor's degree and my master's degree. My bachelor's at UGA, Bulldogs, woot woot woot, and then master's degree at Johns Hopkins University, the Bloomberg School of Public Health. And my background more is in health education. So before I got into epidemiology, I heavily worked with vulnerable populations abroad in Colombia, Nigeria, and also in Atlanta, focused around women's health or reproductive health. That kind of was my passion before epidemiology, and got into epidemiology when I did my 2-year fellowship with the CDC. I was based in Florida, Kissimmee, Florida, and I worked with the health department, was able to do tuberculosis control. And now I am in Georgia working on COVID-19 emergency response, and it's amazing so far, getting a lot of it. So some of the challenges that I personally have faced just as, a professional and even as a student, I would say, going through, challenges with mental health, that's something that is definitely very prominent being a student. And then also being a Black, graduate student, it's difficult when you are faced with the imposter syndrome, thinking that, how did I make it to this space? And, having to deal with all the deliverables and having to deal with, work on top of grad school, working a part-time position. It takes a toll on your mental health and just your overall view of yourself and, how your self-worth. And I just have to let you know that, I overcome that by being in a safe space with people who look like me, who are also in it, going through grad school, us kind of having that support system, encouraging each other, knowing that I got to that place for a reason. God put me there for a reason to excel, and I was able to graduate top of my class. And these are still challenges that I'm faced with, even graduating from school, having the experience, but still being challenged by the fact that you are a Black woman and you have the potential to do amazing things, but you're challenged by people questioning if you have the experience, waiting around to see if that right opportunity will come about. Money is definitely an issue in the space that we're in, but I think it's important to realize that money alone is not going to allow you to go and navigate through public health. You need to be open to taking on internships. You need to be open to just working in different spaces and getting that experience by taking on all these different projects that may come your way. They're there for a reason. I'm a strong believer that challenges are stepping stones for just bigger and better opportunities. So just keep in the fight, keep going, keep, hope alive is super important for me. Okay, so what keeps me motivated, I would definitely say my faith in the Lord. I know that may sound cheesy for some people, but I'm a strong believer that God has taken you to a certain place in your life for a reason. And it motivates me because I am where I am to grow. I am where I am to be able to do so much for my community. I feel like that to me is important. I signed on to serve vulnerable populations, and that is exactly what I'm doing. And it's just a constant motivator that, there's so much that can be done, and I'm a part of the fight. I'm a part of making public health and just health accessible and affordable for people, and to be able to give quality service to people who look like me, to me is very important. So I would definitely say God is my number one motivation, and just knowing that I'm making a difference, knowing that, I came from humble beginnings, and I'm now in a place where I'm able to do for myself, for my family, and just for my community. Public health honestly was not my dream job. In college, I actually went the medicine route. Medical school was kind of where I saw myself for a semester, and then spring semester of freshman year, I decided to take on nursing and kind of do the prerequisites to go to nursing school, and realized in the process of doing internships and externships that nursing wasn't for me. And I had the opportunity, and it was such a blessing, honestly, to be able to go to Colombia, where my mother's from, and I was able to work with some of the communities there and help out in the clinics and, work hand in hand with the clinicians and non-clinicians and, different community that's kind of what opened my eyes up to public health and honestly global health. That's where I, honestly, I want to be is to do public health on a global platform. And yeah, that's where I see myself. So my overall goal in my life, I would say public health is a part of it, but to be honest, I'm really looking into entrepreneurship. That to me is very important, especially in health. I think a lot of times we think that leadership roles kind of are just project managers, program managers, doctors, but I think it's important to realize that there is just a variety of spaces that you can be in when you're in public health, healthcare, and entrepreneurship is definitely one of them. If I could do mobile health with communities, that to me is important. If I could start my own app. In addition to that, I want to be able to just have freedom. So if I'm able to work in real estate, if I'm able to partner with different agencies, not even just domestically, but internationally, I want to be able to do public health, real estate, even music. That's a passion of mine. I enjoy singing, I enjoy dancing. I want to incorporate all of that into my professional life, but also my personal life. I want to be happy. I want to be at peace with who I am, with my family. So I hope that I'm able to incorporate public health and all the other ventures that I have in mind and live a healthy, fruitful life. So my message for future generations that are interested in getting in the public healthcare space, I would definitely say constantly look for opportunities. Be motivated. I know sometimes it's hard to be motivated depending on your circumstances, the environment, but I definitely say keep your eye on the prize. Always, ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. There's no such thing as stupid questions. And I know a lot of times, young, black, brown students, children, from young, we're taught that, you shouldn't ask so many questions and you shouldn't challenge, what you hear, but you should. You should be open to challenging and asking as many questions as possible. Be open to take on as many opportunities in the field as you can. And honestly, have faith in yourself. Be confident. So I definitely would say confidence is something that I was challenged with even at a young age. And believe in yourself. The reality is people around you will only believe in you if you believe in yourself first. So honestly, believe in who you are and what you want to do and just keep on going. Have faith in yourself. Keep on pushing no matter what.
What's going on? It's your boy Rocc, and welcome to Ricochet Sounds. Come on in.
Some things just don't get better with age. Racing by passages while I'm performing on stage. Still full of rain, still in their cages, trying to find us a way. Today I saying how I feel, I don't know. For years been healing scars. On my own. Get high, didn't wanna think about my problems back home. She say she want me, but I told her I was better alone. It's crazy how many names I seen engraved in that stone. Cast away, I live my life a little different. On the road to riches, some pretend that they care.
How y'all doing today? I'm Jeremiah Homer from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. You're in Ricochet Sounds. Here we go. I'm an audio engineer, music producer, A&R, and label owner. Currently, we've been in business since about 2015 professionally, so we've just been continuing to try to make improvements, just doing things to, try to get ahead in it. I went to school for communications and mass communications at Clark Atlanta University, and I graduated in 2018, and so I feel like those skills and those abilities that I learned at the university allowed me to carry it over into my job field and my career field.
Okay, HBCU, I see you.
Not really. I had a whole lot of different things. When I first was in high school, I was in like pre-law school, so I learned a lot of things in terms of like, how to be a lawyer and how to conduct yourself in the court and whatnot. So I always was in mock trials and whatnot, just trying to, find something that I wanted to do. But eventually, probably about the end of high school, this started becoming a passion and a goal. That's something that I realized that I can really do if I put my mind. My eventual goal is I want us to expand. I want us to expand in multiple major U.S. cities, and then eventually for us to expand to internationally outside of the country, whether it be Paris, Toronto, various spots like that. Challenges, just really a lot of no's. Like I used to intern at a lot of studios before I had my own studio, and they just didn't let me get to the potential that I wanted, which is getting in front of the boards and whatnot. So a lot of times I would kind of be like, well, what is it that I'm doing wrong? I would think it was something I'm doing wrong, but I understood that it was connections, and it was more just about building relationships with people. But the information and the skills that I learned from those internships, probably my most concrete message would be to whatever it is that you do, whatever it's, even if it's not in the music industry, in whatever industry you're in, just do it to the best of your ability, and just know that persistence is key. Persistence beats talent. Persistence beats connections. You know what I'm saying? When people see you working and they continuously see you doing what you need to do, you know what I'm saying? People flock anyway. So just continue staying humble, and of course just continue grinding towards the goal, and you'll get it.
In a minute I'ma step by. Heard your man kinda crazy, I'm hurt by. Let me help by. What you wanna do? Pull up to the club like you overdue for a good time. You a bad one, and your baby daddy broke, he a sad one. Told dad since the beats I can spaz on. Bitches quick to leave when the cloud of cash gone. They ain't let me in the door, now I'm breaking in. Niggas out here playing games like a scratch and win, but I give it all back down.
Once again, thank y'all for tuning in with us. It's Rocc from Ricochet Sounds. You can find us on Instagram at Ricochet Sounds. Come holler at us. Come let us get your sound right. Definitely.
I run Peach State Real Estate, Instagram peachstate.realestate, real estate company by Keller Williams in Atlanta, Georgia, South Fulton area, but I do all around Georgia, depending on how far you want to go. But I know also realtors all outside of the state of Georgia, so if you ever were looking for a referral, you can always ask me, and I can have somebody in another state help you out. I've always known I wanted to be an entrepreneur. The job 9 to 5 just wasn't for me. I kind of like running my own schedule, and I kind of like the fact that there's an unlimited amount of money that you can make in the real estate field or any entrepreneur field at that. I feel like when it comes to a 9 to 5, you're kind of limited on a cap, but when you work for yourself, it's kind of like unlimited. It was not easy in the beginning. I definitely, on more than one occasion, would say, you know what, I'm just gonna keep this 9 to 5 and I'm just gonna use it as a back backup, but it kind of got to the point where it was like I realized I was just using that so I would have something to fall back on. Once I got rid of that 9 to 5, I realized like I'm out here on my own. I don't have a backup, so now I need to go harder, and it kind of allowed me to push myself to where I'm at today. My support system did everything, and they were always encouraging me, so I really appreciate them. They know who they are, so I don't have to shout them out, but yeah, I really appreciate them.
One big me behind the camera. Yay.
Right now, I'm almost at 10K followers. I started from the bottom about 2 years ago on my Instagram page. I'm really looking to expand different social media networks as well. But I was just posting every day. It was mainly about just me. I wasn't worried about if you saw it or not. I just knew eventually it was going to get seen, and it did. And I've been able to help so many clients out with the goal of home ownership to this day, and I'm just loving it. Being a business owner is really hard to be organized because I'm not the most put together person. So when I had to buy a planner and a calendar, it was really difficult for me to kind of do all of that at one point. But I'm maintaining. I'm recently hired an assistant to kind of help me out with things like that, and I'll eventually start back with open houses. Because of COVID, we weren't able to do a lot of that. So if you're also looking for a home, you don't really know the process or anything, I'm going to be hosting some open houses as well as some seminars to kind of help you guys out. I would just say stop doubting the progress. Like, the progress may not seem like it's getting you anywhere, and it may not even seem like you're going anywhere, but just stop doubting it. Just keep going. You may not see where you're at now, you may not see any progression, but if you stop doubting it and just keep moving, you'll get there. And just follow me on Instagram at peachstate.realestate.
My overall goal for life is it sounds very corny, but I really do just want to be happy. And happiness for me means spending time with my family, it means traveling, it means spending time with loved ones, worshiping the Lord, praising Him, and just having a good time, knowing that I'm doing what I can here in the world to leave my footprint to make it better for someone else. Hi everyone, my name is Kwardel Lewis. I am currently an epidemiologist with a local health district here in Atlanta, Georgia. I have my background in public health. I have my master's in public health and also an undergraduate degree in psychology and a minor in public health, both from the University of Georgia. Go Dogs. So my journey in public health was kind of long. I first started off wanting to work in medicine, but then I somehow took a few classes in public health in undergrad, and then I got my master's in public health and concentrating in health promotion and behavior, so mostly focusing on health education. However, in the past 2 years, I was working with data collection and surveillance, and a few months ago, the opportunity came up to serve as the epidemiologist with the health district here in Georgia, serving under COVID-19, thanks to a friend. And so I did not always want to be an epidemiologist. In fact, I studied the complete opposite. I studied health promotion and behavior. So I focused on the health education side of things, developing the programs, finding the theories of how to change someone's behavior. And the last year, I worked as a disease and infection specialist with another health district, where I was working with individuals who were tested positive for HIV or any other STDs, or conducting tests for those. And that led me and I was conducting epidemiological surveillance outreach, and that led me to working here with the current district that I'm at as a epidemiologist. Because of the coronavirus pandemic, there's a high need right now for public health professionals, and I had the skill set that led me to the position where I am now. So because public health is a growing field, there is a large number of individuals who are getting their master's in public health, or even their PhD or DRPH, that's Doctor in Public Health degree. So a lot of the jobs are requiring you to have a vast amount of experience, even though it is an entry-level position. So I think I had issues with finding full-time positions, so what I had to do, I had to just knock myself down a little bit and sign up and apply for the part-time positions or the volunteer positions that gave me the experience to get to where I am now with a full-time position. What keeps me motivated is knowing that I am making a difference with a large group, especially working in coronavirus right now. I know there are a lot of people who are getting affected, so I'm able to converse with those who have tested positive and to educate them on how they can protect their loved ones to prevent the transmission of the virus from them to someone else. So just knowing that I'm able to help decrease negative health outcomes is really what keeps me motivated, keeps me going. Professionally, I would like to get into the global health side of public health. My family is from Sierra Leone, a country in West Africa, so they do face a lot of negative health outcomes, hardships there, and I would love to eventually set up a nonprofit where we can attack those health issues and educate the people on how they can live better lives and live healthier lifestyles for themselves and still hold on to their culture, not have to change anything, but just end up having a healthier lifestyle. I also do want to diversify my portfolio. I do think that everyone should not just focus on just one thing. If it is your passion, go ahead and do that. But I do want to get into different business ventures just to make sure I have multiple streams of income, because we don't know what the economy is like. We know that it can crash at any moment, jobs could be lost at any moment. As we've seen with COVID, healthcare isn't infinite. We know that there are individuals like dentists who weren't able to work for a while. So it was very important for me to diversify my portfolio. My advice to others who want to get into the public health field or any health field or any field, honestly, keep grinding. Especially while you're getting your degree, do internships. Don't just look for the opportunities that are paid, do the volunteer, get that experience, because once you graduate, whether it's your undergrad or master's or PhD, you're coming out with that experience that they're looking for, plus the degree. So you're going to be at the top of their list to get their the job, and you'll know what you're doing as well. So look for all opportunities. Don't just look for the paid opportunity, because I know that's what we want, but find anything that you can get that experience that's needed. And then you can also find out if you really do like what you're majoring in, what you're pursuing. If I had to choose 3 words that everyone should live by, it would be love, love everyone. It would be compassion, be compassionate to everyone. You don't know what anyone is going through, so be compassionate to those, even if you don't like them. And 3, it's not a word, it's a phrase, live your life. Live your life, because we don't know that tomorrow.